Hello everyone and welcome back to another video with On Point Politics, and today we are talking about more 2024. That's literally what we're going to talk about. I see the chat, everyone's excited to be here. We got a lot more people here right now, which is very interesting. I'm definitely going to be streaming at this time, possibly even later. I'm noticing a lot more people are tuning in at this time of night, so definitely going to be tuning in for sure at this time. But guys, for those of you who just got here, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure to go ahead and follow the Twitter in the description down below, as well as joining the Discord server if you have Discord. And at the end of the day, I'm trying to be the most accurate forecaster. I'm trying to get the best data out there possible. And we have a GoFundMe to help us collect funds for national and state polling for us to conduct with SoCal Research. So make sure to go ahead and go down there and donate whatever you can. If you want to super chat, that's fine, but I would recommend going ahead and setting up a GoFundMe account really quick and donating whatever super chats you would have sent to the GoFundMe, because we get it directly in real time instead of getting it the next month. And then we'll be able to put that towards state polls as of right now. So we're going to be getting into this because there's something we need to talk about, right? The whole Harris polling thing to me is very strange because she is doing miraculously well in her approval rating, right? She not only has, because Biden apparently is still down at 14 points, Harris not only approval rating did not just go up, her approval rating completely spiked in the matter of somehow a week after Trump's assassination attempt, just completely spiked up out of nowhere. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Even if you look at Trump, you've never seen his favorables go like that. Biden's now, I mean, yeah, you've seen a little bit of a rise. I mean, you've seen it. It's kind of normal. I mean, you see it right here after the midterms, which made kind of sense. You kind of saw his approval rating kind of shoot up like that. But when you look at Harris's favorables, you look and you see that her favorable gain is very not organic. And so to me, it seems like this may be in part of the response bias that we've been getting in the national polls. And I can confirm that we've been getting that response bias because of the fact that our samples were heavily more Democratic after Joe Biden dropped out, and you had these samples that were like D plus 13. There's no way the electorate's going to be D plus 13. Even if you go back to 2016, it was like D plus 3. 2020 was like D plus 2. There's no way you're going to have these crazily like high electorates. And so that's why you are seeing a lot of people question the polling data because of the fact that Harris has gained so quickly in approval. So today, I kind of want to experiment with something. I want to do something for this. I want to see what the electoral map would look like if we took into account the most accurate pollster from the cycle of 2020, which was Intel Atlas, right? Let's see how the election would look with that one. That, I believe, the poll ended up showing Trump ahead by 1.7 percentage points, give or take. That's like roughly what you had in the Electoral College for the most part in that result. So let's go ahead and say that, that is going to be the most accurate forecast. You put it with my model, which incorporates the electoral vote count and whatnot. It also takes into account the RCP aggregate. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, we're going to use that poll, right? So if we were to do that, we would end up getting this national environment of about plus 4.2 for Trump. That was what you would get. All of these states would still be in the safe Republican column, including Iowa and Ohio, which would go for Trump fairly easily in this matchup. Ohio, in this scenario, would be an 18-point win. Same thing with Iowa. They would roughly be the exact same margin there. Now, looking at, for example, California, that would be in the safe column at 22 points. DC would be a 76-point victory for Harris. we would see, states like Vermont being 29 points for Harris, Massachusetts. As of now, we could probably put that in the Democrat column with Maryland at 27 points each for Harris. And so, as of this point, she would have 81 safe electoral votes. And even Hawaii would go in that safe column at around 19 points for Harris. And so, that's what we're looking at in terms of the safe states with this matchup. As for the likely Republican states, we got Texas, Florida, which go for Trump by 12 to 13. We got the Rust Belt, which varies, but it's anywhere from a 7 to 9 point victory in all the states. North Carolina would be an 8 point victory in this electoral college scenario, as well as Georgia being a 6 point win, Arizona being a 7 point win, and Nevada being around a 9 point victory in the state of Nevada, giving Trump 308, with Alaska, I believe it's in the likely column. Yeah, it's a 13 point win. So Trump basically, with Maine's second congressional district, pretty much gets up to a safe margin in the electoral college, and he wins fairly easily. I mean, for the likely Democrat states, we'd have Washington, Oregon, Colorado, Illinois, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Rhode Island, New York. And for the other states, we'd have New Hampshire in this column. New Mexico would still be Till, and Virginia would be lean. Maine's first congressional district would be in the likely column. And Maine's second congressional district, as of this point, or Maine at large, would be Till Democrat. But Minnesota, in this electoral college scenario, would actually be pretty close. I think, let me go ahead and go to the next decimal here. I believe, yeah, it barely goes Republican. It's like really, really close, but it narrowly goes into that column. And we see that Donald Trump still wins the electoral college with pretty great ease. I mean, he's winning 323 electoral college votes, and he's closing the gap in some of these deep blue Democrat states. Guys, if you guys did just join in here, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button. Please do not ghost watch the stream. Any support is greatly appreciated. Please hit the like button, as it does help with the algorithm as of right now. I would greatly appreciate that support. So whoever just joined in here, if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. I provide the best information when it comes to polling in the United States. And go ahead and hit the like button on the stream. It would greatly help out with the algorithm. And so that basically puts the election at 323. That's with using the most accurate pollster from 2020 and multiple national elections. This is using that, correct? Now, let's say we plug in the poll that we did here with SoCal Research. Let's say Donald Trump theoretically is leading by 6 points with third parties, right? Included with third parties. That is the lead we found in our poll. What if that would actually be the case? What if he's hypothetically leading by that amount? Well, the race kind of changes quite a bit, and this is where we basically account for that response bias. And right now, if we were to account for that response bias, ignore all the other polling, and just stick to our national polls in terms of the model, this is the result we would actually get in the electoral college. I'm going to go ahead and redo the map. So Alaska would be safe, as well as most of these states here as well. Florida would narrowly be in that plus 15 column. It would be a 15.4 percentage point win. Texas would also be in the safe column like it was before. We have North Carolina being an 11-point victory. Georgia is around an 8-point win, almost 9 points. Arizona around 10. State of Nevada would be a 12-point win for Donald Trump. Maine second would be a pretty comfortable win there. We would also have as well the Rust Belt being a pretty easy victory there too. Anywhere from 10 to 11 point victories there in the Rust Belt, which is very intriguing. And we also see in the likely Democrat states, I mean, California goes down a few points, so does Hawaii. The safe states basically stay the same. New York kind of drops in support a bit. New Jersey is kind of like a 6-point race now. Some of these likely states get closer, but we also see Colorado and Illinois are now in the lean Democrat column, almost 5-point wins, but they are basically in the lean Democrat column now. Oregon, Washington would be in that likely space. Nebraska's second congressional district would basically be a 5-point win. And then you kind of have the swing states from before. New Mexico would be a 2.3 percentage point win. New Hampshire is around a 2-point victory. Minnesota at 2.6 percentage points. And then you have Virginia actually as a tilt Democrat state. It narrowly goes in the Democrat column. And Maine at large is a 2.4 percentage point victory. So if we were to ignore everything else and just use the third-party matchup polling that we got in our latest national poll, Donald Trump would still be winning 334 electoral college votes. And I make this point because there's so many people saying, oh, we're doomed. Oh, Kamala's leading. Can she gain a point or two? Oh no, we're so doomed. Trump is going to lose the election. There's no way he can win again. Guys, even if we use the most accurate pollster, hell, even if we use the most biased sample towards Harris, like let's say it's like the D+4 sample, right? Even at that point, Trump would still be winning Wisconsin by 5, Pennsylvania by 6, North Carolina would be lean, Nevada would be 6 points, Michigan would be lean, Georgia would be lean, Arizona would be lean. But at the end of the day, Trump is still winning the Electoral College fairly easily. He is still winning fairly easily, and he still wins the popular vote. So, any way you chalk it up in my model, if you were to use slightly different metrics, Trump is still winning in all of the scenarios and pretty comfortably at that. So right now, in terms of this old doom and gloom, oh, Harris is going to now beat Trump. She's the favorite of the race. Guys, Trump leading by 2 points is already pretty impressive because Trump never led the polling aggregate ever. And Biden barely won. And in 2016, Trump led the aggregate for like 2 to 3 days and still won the election. The fact he's been up the entire time and the fact that there is a entire response bias that is pretty similar to the one that we saw in 2020 with Biden, the fact that there is a response bias in the polling and the fact that Trump is still ahead is very impressive, to be honest, guys. That is really impressive stuff. The fact that there's an entire response bias and Trump is still up by this much is pretty impressive. I wonder what the DDHQ average has because they actually, I think they probably have a better average. Let's actually see what it would be. I'm kind of curious. Let's see if it would load. Trump leads by 2.5%. So it did narrow up quite a bit ever since then. And I believe they have our poll in the aggregate as well. If we go down here, I think they have it. Yeah, they have Trump +6. They have our poll in the aggregate. They also include our national poll in the main aggregate as well. Even like the New York Times as well, they also have that too. So even if we were to go over here, New York Times 2024 polls, if we were to go over here, they even include our national polling as well. You look, funny enough, they actually have Red Eagle on here, which is pretty cool. And then they have our Georgia poll. Like, they include all of our polling data here, which is pretty interesting. I don't know why they consider Red Eagle a Republican sponsor, but not myself. That's interesting. It is pretty cool. You click the link, and then it goes directly to the PDF file, which is pretty nice. And then you even hover over my name and it kind of says my name. That's kind of cool. But either way, if we even keep scrolling, they have our national popular vote margin here. Like, they have it. They include our stuff. So clearly, our methodology is better than what most people are putting out there. Even if you look at the aggregates, Virginia, oh, these are Biden aggregates overall. I didn't even realize, but I guess they haven't updated the aggregates because they have a bunch of Harris stuff here. I don't know why they haven't updated the aggregates yet. But either way, Trump is still the favorite in any way, shape, or form you put it. Trump is still the favorite in the race. For people that are saying, oh, we're doomed, there's no way we're going to win, Harris is going to win 320 electoral votes, guys, it's not going to happen. Now, we got to do our part to make that happen. Of course, we got to get out and vote. I'm actually myself, I'm helping at the local level. I'm kind of helping the Republican type candidate win the mayoral race for the Miami-Dade mayoralship county, and he's actually the mayor of my hometown. And so I'm kind of helping out with that. I want to get on track with, certain things like, getting, voting for Trump early, which I will possibly do when I get back to Miami in August for about a week. So overall, the president is still relatively strong. I mean, he is still very strong in terms of his chances of victory. I don't see Harris winning right now. Now, could things change? I mean, it's possible, but based on the way that things have been going, I seriously doubt that it's going to be that bad to the point where the race is within a few points in the Rust Belt. Like, there's absolutely no way that that's going to be the case. Even if we look at the Senate, everybody's freaking out about the Senate. Oh, Republicans are going to lose the Senate. There's no way they could win it. Do you guys realize how hard it would actually be for them to lose it? Just to give you an idea of how difficult it would be for the Republicans to lose the Senate, just look at this. Even with all of the likely Democrat seats and safe seats, they're only at 42 seats. West Virginia is an insta flip because that Republican governor, Jim Justice, is now the nominee, and Manchin isn't running anymore. And with the national environment shifting probably 13 or 14 points from the right of 2018, there's no way that the Republican would lose that race. And so that's an insta flip. And so from here, you have options. Really, the only ones you need to start with are Texas and Florida, which Cruz, even in a blue wave year, barely won this race, but he still won it. And in Florida, somehow they were also able to hold on too. If we go to 2018, Scott was able to like narrowly hold on in like a D+9 national environment. And so when you look at this, it's like, okay, well, right now they're probably going to win these seats very easily, and Republicans are already at 50 seats. So if Trump were to already win, Republicans would already be winning the Senate, and that's not even including Montana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona. Now, am I saying that we're the favorite to win in the Rust Belt? Definitely not. I mean, my model actually has all three of these races in the tilt Republican column. I seriously doubt that we are in the tilt Republican column here. I think that we're probably a little bit worse off. I think we're probably losing those races. But as for Ohio and Montana, there's no way we are losing those. Trump is not going to win Ohio by 18, but Sherrod Brown win Ohio. Like, it's just not going to happen. Montana, the same thing. Trump is not going to win Montana by 25, but Tim Sheehy lose the race. The voters are not going to ticket split by 25 points. That is not going to happen, especially with the fact that ticket splitting has become less common. And so Republicans are already all right, guys. I'm back. Sorry about that. I kind of like got choked up again. But either way, at this point, even if we were to lose the Rust Belt, right? Even if we lost the Rust Belt, even if we lose the Rust Belt, there is no way, yo, guys. Chat's making me laugh. Everybody was like, "Bro, are you good? Are you okay?" He got assassinated. No, guys. Yeah, for whatever reason, right now, whenever I cough, I get like choked up for some reason, and so I have to I kind of have to like get myself together. I don't know why that's been happening lately. Bruh, I've been drinking a lot of water. But either way, even if the Rust Belt were to go, I honestly think Sam Brown's going to win Nevada no matter what. Arizona's a little bit more of a contestable race. That's a little bit more of a contestable. I thought the left took him out. Thought he got unalive by the Dems, bro. Guys, come on. I thought the feds got to him, guys. You guys are funny. Even if Arizona, like, if we look here, that race may actually be like a tilt Democrat margin. That could go blue, but it also could go red. Like, I mean, it could go either way. But even without that, Republicans are already at 53 Senate seats. So there's no way that the Democrats are going to be able to win it. And if we look at the House elections, guys, it is so easy right now for Republicans to win. If they're winning the national popular vote on the presidential level by 4 to 5, I mean, Mary Patola at that point could possibly hold on. Alabama's second was redistricted. Apparently now it's a likely Democrat seat. David Schweikert, probably we see that the presidential seat, it was a lean margin. The House margin in 2022, Republican, he barely won it. I'd say he holds on. Same thing for Arizona 6 as well. I think that's going to be a hold. California's 13th. That is a little bit confusing because on the presidential level, it did kind of vote Democrat. And so this may be a little bit concerning. I'd say Democrats maybe flip that back. Same thing with California's 22nd, but Mike Garcia always outperforms his elections pretty decently. I think that California's 41st is going to hold. California's 45th holds. California's 47th. I actually think that that may possibly be a hold just because of the fact that we are going to have, the district probably vote to the left of what it did in 2022 on the national level. And so that may make it a problem for some people there. Also, Colorado's 8th. I mean, this was a really close district in 2022, and Trump is going to improve statewide. So we probably end up getting that seat. We go to Maine second. We're going to win that seat. Trump, I'm probably thinking, is going to win that seat by 15 points. There's no way that Trump is going to not win that race by at least 15 right now. And Jared Golden is not going to be able to hold on at that point in time. Alyssa Slotkin, that seat's now up for grabs. Really close on the presidential level. I'd say that may be a flip. Michigan's 8th could possibly be a flip. The presidential district probably flips to Trump. And so that may end up dooming the Democrat candidate there. Michigan's 10th, John James, probably wins that race. We also see in Don Davis's seat, that race was kind of redistricted. The district was pretty close in 2020. Trump probably wins that as well. We look at North Carolina's 13th. That's going to be a pretty easy win. Nebraska's second probably is a hold for Bacon because of the fact Trump's probably going to win the district. New Jersey 7th. Probably the Republican actually holds here. I think Trump may be able to flip that district. New Mexico 2nd may possibly. I mean, the Democrat only won by a tilt margin, and the district was D+6. So this one's a really big toss-up race. I'd say maybe it's a hold for now, but it could definitely flip. Guys, if you are in here, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit the like button as of right now because it's going to help with the algorithm as well. I greatly appreciate that. New York's 4th. If we look at that, this district is really Democrat. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but if Trump is getting within 15 in the state, that could be a hold. New York's 17th, same thing. New York's 19th, that's definitely a hold for Republicans. Ohio's 9th. This was interesting because this was a red seat last time, but the Democrat won very easily, and they've been here since 1983. So I'd say that's a hold for Dems. I think Amelia Skies probably goes down. I think Oregon's 5th. The Republican probably flips that. I think Pennsylvania's 7th. The Republicans flip that with Pennsylvania's 8th. I think both of those Democrat congressmen and women are going to go down. And Washington's 3rd probably goes Republican. And so when you look at that, Republicans get 228 in the House, the Democrats 207. So it's like, even on a kind of whimsical prediction where some of the Democrats hold their seats, the Republicans still make gains in the House Representatives anyway. So Charles for 2 says, what if RK drops out and endorses Trump map? Well, if that were to happen, Trump probably, it's not going to be a one-to-one transfer of support, but I mean, it kind of depends on where you think Trump is right now. If Trump is really here and Kennedy endorses him, I think Virginia may be his, and he may have the chance of possibly flipping Colorado and New Jersey in this scenario. So that may be something that would be fairly fascinating to look at, but right now I wouldn't really put too much stock into that. I think that more than likely RFK isn't going to drop out and he's probably going to stay in the race, and he may take away a couple of votes. I also think that Harris getting a response bias and there being more Democrats, I think is also taking away Kennedy's support as well in the polling data. I think it's kind of taking away support from him as well. So arguably the response bias probably hurts him as well. And so, as of right now, Trump is winning 334 to 204, in my opinion. This is kind of what I have him winning right now, to be honest with you. Virginia, I think it's still blue based on the new demographic model that we did. But overall, I think that Trump is probably going to be close to winning it or could even possibly win it. Now, we do have Alan Lichtman saying that Harris is probably the favorite now to win, which is a bunch of BS. He's ignoring the fact that Democrats cooed Joe Biden. He's ignoring the fact that he used polling data to switch the keys for the economy many years ago, and now he isn't, even though the data would suggest that he needs to flip the keys. And so all of his stuff is very, very hypocritical. He has no consistent view on any of his keys. He's gotten lucky a bunch of times, and this year, if he predicts Harris the winner, I think he's going to seriously get it wrong, because I honestly think that it's just not going to work out for him at all. I think he's going to probably end up getting the race incorrect, in my opinion. I would tell you guys to trust me more than him any day of the week. So that's what I'm basically going to say for that. Now, if we look on Twitter, which is the space for all the brain rot in the world, whoa, 20 notifications. What do I have 20 notifications for? In oh god, this guy, bro, there's no freaking way this guy's posting himself. In Alan Lichtman we trust, bro. You're not Jesus, bro. Literally stop, bro. Oh wow, okay then. Oh, did somebody comment on my thing? Oh, I guess it got more views or something. Yeah, let me see this article, because this is kind of interesting, because all of the Damn, I had a lot of notifications. I guess a lot of people liked my tweet here. Interesting. Well, either way, we're going to look here and said, look, Alan Lichtman is famous for correctly predicting the 2016 election. The problem is he didn't. Alan Lichtman is gearing up to make another prediction. Touted us has accurately predicted every election in 1984. He's set to release the 2024 edition of his signature book on July 1st. Well, the July 1st already passed. If he'll publish the book, and then we see here it's probably because of his shock 2016 prediction where he insisted Trump would defeat a heavily favored Hillary Clinton. Trump's eventual upset only added to Lichtman's legend. His history-based model had succeeded where database models like 538 had failed. Alan Lichtman's 13 key model based methodology criticism before. We'll be providing our own in this piece, but regardless of the methodology, our chief concern with Lichtman is that despite his claims of a perfect record, he has not been completely honest about exactly what he predicted in 2016. After combining through Lichtman's published work and interviews, we've come to two main conclusions. First, in 2016, Lichtman predicted that Trump would win the popular vote, which I've already stated on this channel before. And second, after that result failed to materialize, he not only took credit for a correct prediction anyway, but was dishonest about the content of his own work, incorrectly and inconsistently claiming the keys had only been designed to predict the winner of the general election, not the popular vote for every election held after 2000. Yeah, that's the problem. He said he changed his model after 2000, but then in 2016 he said, oh, Trump's gonna win the popular vote. So it doesn't really make any sense. He was like, oh, I have Trump winning the keys because Trump probably wins the popular vote. But it's like, if he had any understanding about the Electoral College, Trump winning the popular vote would have equated to him winning like 350 electoral votes at that point, because he probably would have won Colorado. While this may be some sort of niche concern, it is a great deal to the two of us. First of all, as election modelers ourselves, we believe that the effective models can only be built. Lessons about the practicing of modeling can be learned, and if modelers are completely honest with their audience. The second is that we also are graduates of American University, same university that employs Lichtman, and we care about our all matters reputation. Oh my God, wow, these people are getting personal. As such, we believe Lichtman's model and claim deserve a thorough examination in interests of both academic integrity and plain old honesty. What follows is our attempt to set the record straight regarding his model and predictions. So we see here with the keys, they basically kind of outline what all they all are: hasty generalization and probability. So we see we'll handle this inquiry objectively using some probabilities and cognizant of our own successful predictive model. I actually want to see what their model is. That is pretty interesting. I don't even know who these guys are. So we see here that they basically talk about how many predictions they have. Like this is something like, right, this is something that I've talked about. Well, some elections he'll predict the election like 30 months before it even happens. And then in some elections, he does it like right before. So it's like, okay, where's the consistency with your predictions? And then the polling lead or net approval at the time of Lichtman's prediction, we see that the net incumbent approval is down in 2008. We see here in 2012 it's down. We see in 2004 the net incumbent approval is pretty up actually. And we even keep going down. Convenience, subjectivity, charismatic. Yeah, that's something I've talked about a bit. That's kind of subject, is very, very, very. Hold on, guys. My bad. It's just that it sounds nasty whenever I cough like that because I have to like catch my breath. I have to catch my breath, and it sounds so nasty. So I'd rather put you guys on the hold before I even like put myself back on speaker again. Left taking him out again. Bruh, my man needs an air purifier. The left got his ass ripped again. Bro, you guys are funny. The CIA got him. He's spoken on this issue too, arguing subjectivity isn't a concern because the keys are simply judgments, going as far to say his system is purely objective, and then blurring the lines between subjectivity and objectivity by arguing fairly that the most objective measures like GDP growth contain subjective determinations like what is accounted as economic activity. So they basically go over how his record hasn't even been perfect, so that's kind of the thing. That is that is definitely something percent. By Lichtman's own consistent rule, he was wrong. Yet he continues to enjoy recognition for his predictive accuracy in 2016. Murray Dowd called him the only one major political historian to predict Trump's victory. It continues to be invoked. Both of these things cannot be true. He cannot claim to have predicted every election, both the 2016, but a thorough effort to retcon and paper over the mistake of his 2016 have allowed him to obtain his obscene authority. So basically, it doesn't make any sense for him to claim that he got both of those right if the election model predictors are supposed to be completely different. So, guys, I've been taking medicine. I don't think you guys understand. Like, I've been taking medicine. I don't know what it is, but I've been taking medicine. I've been taking NyQuil. Like, guys, trust me, I've been on top of it. It's just been around for a bit. I got sick earlier this month, and I guess it became something a little bit more. I don't even know, but I'm fine. On November 9th, 2006, da da da. Oh yeah, look, somebody even brought it up to him, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Yeah, no, it's pretty dumb, to be honest. It's pretty dumb. It's probably COVID or something, to be honest, like worst case. Because I know with COVID, like you have a hard time breathing or whatever. So it's probably COVID or something. I could probably go get it checked out, but I don't really think it's that bad. to be honest. But yeah, he's had very inconsistent results. Now, I actually want to see what their election model is. I'm curious to see what they have for the. Bruh, what? What is this? Oh, this is kind of. Whoa, this is kind of cool. Wait, what? Oh, this is. Wait, wait, what? Wait, what in the world? This is kind of cool. What the? Oh, wow. This is like really nicely done. Damn. Independent voters. Wow, this is kind of cool actually. What in the world? Bro's dead in a week. Antibiotics, Minnesota. When I had COVID, I had the same symptom for a moment. It went away. Yeah, guys, I'm saying it's probably not that big of a deal. I mean, it sounds bad, but it's probably not that terrible. Damn, this is kind of cool. Wow, this election model is kind of cool actually. What the hell? This is kind of sick. The economy. Oh, this is so cool. I did not. Oh, this is kind of cool. Why have these not been included in the model? I mean, either way, this is like kind of nicely done actually. I like to see that actually. This is that's pretty nice. 2024 draft. Hmm. Donated for the GoFundMe. Thank you very much, my friend. I have not gotten it in yet. Well, just letting you guys know, right now with this election, if you want my personal opinion, this is removing my unbiasedness, right? You know, in terms of looking at the election and stuff like that, we can talk about the margins all day and whatever, but I want to be completely honest. When it comes to this one, I think even if Trump's administration could possibly be flawed, it may not be the perfect conservative administration, but I am going to put this out on the record. I think that Trump has to win this cycle because if Harris wins, they're gonna pass mass amnesty, and all these illegals who just got in are not gonna get deported, and they're gonna get voting rights, and they're all gonna break, probably heavily Democrat. So, in my opinion, that is definitely what ends up that's gonna be a problem. In my opinion, that's definitely gonna be an issue. 100%. Yeah, that's also too. They want to pack the courts as well. They want to pack the courts, and they also want to have these term limits or whatever. They want to have these term limits for Supreme Court justices, and it's just that's not good because that's not how the system is supposed to be worked. I mean, that's not how it works. Overall, that's not how that's supposed to function. The Supreme Court justices are supposed to be there for a long time in a nonpartisan way. That's just how it is. And so I believe if Harris doesn't end up winning or ends up winning this cycle, we're probably never going to have a fair election ever again. Like in Venezuela, we have that president. Like, dude won his third straight election in a row. And the exit polls had his opposition winning by like 30 points, and he somehow won the election. Like, really? Like, come on. Like, that's a little ridiculous. And he's drove the economy down in shambles. Like, I even think if that goes on for another two elections, I don't even think he's gonna probably be able to win the next one, even if he cheats, just because of how bad things are probably going to get over there. He could probably cheat next time and probably still lose the election, to be honest. Like, that's how bad things are getting over there. Pretty crazy. And so, right now, I'd say Trump is still heavily favored to win the Electoral College for the most part. That is definitely what I'm going to say right now. I think he's heavily favored to win. I don't think we necessarily have to worry about, is this going to be a close race? Because I think Trump is going to either win it by a lean or a likely margin. Like, even if the race is quote unquote close, he'll still win Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, or all by more than a point. Like when the results come in, you'd be like, okay, it wasn't that close. Like it could have been closer, you know? So at the end of the day, in terms of Trump winning in the certain swing states, I think he's got them right now. He just needs to focus on the campaign. He needs to focus on finally going out there on the last stretch because that's what's going to really matter. And he needs to also start spending money in the Rust Belt and start spending money in Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. That's what he's really got to hone in on. If he can hone in on that, he'll 100% end up being successful in winning the election, in my opinion. And I mean, he's already leading the national average by 2. Biden was leading by 8.4. That's literally, if we were to add that up in terms of how much better he's polling like 10.2 percentage points better than what he was before. And last time Biden won the popular vote by 4.5. That's a 3.9 percentage points miss. And so if you were to apply that to this current aggregate, Trump would be ahead by like 5.7% in the popular vote. That's probably more than enough to win New Mexico, probably more than enough to win Minnesota, New Hampshire, Maine at large. Like, it's going to be more than enough to win these swing states by a pretty convincing margin. And so, just looking at that alone, clearly Trump has improved massively since the last cycle. And so, guys, I'm pretty much going to leave it off here. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you want more content just like this. For all of you guys that are new in here, make sure to subscribe, like the stream. Make sure to go ahead and like it because people apparently do tune into these even after I'm done. So that is pretty cool. Tomorrow, I may stream at about 10:30 or so because I'm going to be a little bit busier during the beginning of the day. So I may actually go live at 10:30 and we'll see how many people are tuning in. So other than that, guys, I hope all of you guys have a great rest of your day. And I will see you guys for tomorrow's videos and tomorrow's live stream as well. Everybody, peace out and have a